Call this meeting to order. Roll call, please. Mr. Albrecht?
Here.
Mr. Brown? No, he's not on. We lost him. Dr. Hall? Mrs. Roop? Here. Mr. Toure?
Here.
Mr. Brown?
Here.
Mrs. Galbraith is here. Mrs. Gasparo?
Here. Stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Albrecht, would you read the mission statement, please?
Our mission statement: to ensure that every child is challenged to reach his or her full potential academically, socially, and emotionally as they grow and develop into thoughtful, productive, and contributing members of society.
Thank you. So tonight we do not have a Spotlight School, we have a Spotlight Department. Food Services, Dr. Coglanese.
Would you please come on up, Ms. Panza? Can you share a little bit about the food pantry?
Yeah. A few of us have been working on the food pantry for a few years now. 2 weeks ago, it came to life.
Can't hear you.
It was making a noise, so. A few of us have been working on the food pantry for a few years now. 2 weeks ago, it came to life with the help of our district office and Northern Illinois Food Bank. The Northern Illinois Food Bank has generously donated 2 double-door refrigerators, 2 double-door freezers, and 4 shelving units for the pantry. And also, they're going to give us the money to start up the food pantry for 1 year. This month, it was about $700 worth of food. Our first pantry, there was 56 families who participated, which was a total of 220 people that we fed. And out of the 220 people, 81 of them were under the age of 18. During the month, when we have items left over, we will be able to have people come that are possibly homeless or having a bad time of it, and we'll be able to fix them up a box of food to kind of get them through to the next pantry. The food pantry is named Unity Kitchen. We named it because of our CM201U and community, so Unity Kitchen is what we decided to go with. We serve many items, which was fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, meat, eggs, soups, cereals, yogurt, cottage cheese, and frozen pizza. The Northern Illinois Food Bank has been serving us for quite a while prior to this, and we have a backpack program, which they are through the same thing. And what we do is we send food home with the students every Friday with non-perishable items, so they have some food for the weekends. The Unity Kitchen is the second school district the second school district in Illinois to have it in a school. We're very excited to host it here on site at the district office, and it's not far from where my office is. I could just walk down the steps and it's right there. One of the requirements is to have SNAP do an on-site nutrition environment food pantry assessment review. They came through. There's 3 different classification levels. There's a bronze, silver, and gold. We scored a silver, which she said was for us getting the silver, being the first time we've ever done it, was really good. She's never seen that before. So kudos to everybody that helped out with that. Each month I'm going to be doing a different group. Are y'all timing me? Sorry. Each month we're going to be doing a different group. This month we did the district office and 2 food service workers. These are people that came to me and asked to help. And then also 2 board members. In May, we're going to have food service be the one that I'm calling it host it. And in the future, I'd like to have the board members as well help with doing this. I want to give a special thanks to the IT department, which helped me unload 6 pallets of food to put it away for the food drive. So I appreciate their help. Our Unity Kitchen will be the first Wednesday of the month, except for July, it will be closed. Our next pantry date is May 1st, and I hope to see some of you there.
Thank you.
I'm actually going to go first today, which I never do. And I never toot my own horn, but I'm so glad that this finally happened. I know we sat down quite a while ago, almost 2 years ago, probably, you and Dr. Clark and I, after having a couple of the mobile food pantries. And they said, we need to do something permanent. So to everybody that's involved, from food services, to IT, maintenance, everybody, thank you very much. This is very much needed in our district, and I'm very proud of it. Thank you. Pam, you've gone above and beyond. Thank you.
Well, I'll start down here. Thank you, Pam, and everybody else involved. I think this is just a great extension of our wraparound services. We know students all come from families that need help, and if the family is suffering, then the student suffers. So I think this is great. Just will be one more thing that helps our students become successful, which is our goal. So thank you, everybody that was involved.
Thank you, Pam. Like the Army, it runs on their belly, and so do students. Students that are full and have good nutrition are going to study harder and accomplish more. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for all the hard work and that you've done over the years, and including this project. Thank you very much.
I concur with the other comments, Pam. Great job, and to all. And so, I mean, it's great to have the district be a great community citizen as well. And just call me anytime you need help.
I would just like to applaud you one more time. You're amazing. You're always thinking of somebody else. You're always trying to think of a way to help the next person who walks through the door. You're amazing. Thank you. I was thrilled that I got to be the greeter that day because I got to tell everybody it was from the district. And many people didn't know that we were now having a district food pantry. And the tears and the joy from them realizing that this came to be was nothing that you can even put into words. You had to be there, and they're thrilled. They don't even know what to say, and they know we're always going to be there. We let them know that if they needed something during the month to contact you. We took phone numbers so that you can text them. I mean, it was a great setup, and I look forward to seeing how this is going to grow as it goes on. Thank you for everything that you're doing.
Well, thank you, Pam. I don't have a mic up here. Somebody can come and speak. But I'm gonna try to be loud enough to speak. Now I get 0 to 2. But thank you, Pam. It is dear to my heart what you are doing here. We do a similar thing over at the township, and I know what it's like to be hungry. I didn't have much when I grew up as a kid, you know, beans and rice. And once we got some meat, that was like a treat during Christmas time. So, and one of the first events that I went to at the National School Board Conference was a community event. Community event packing boxes for the school kids in Philadelphia. They call it backpacks. So keep doing what you're doing. You're the right person for this. Thank you. So this is mine here.
Great job. I think sometimes people think that we're a school district, we're in the business of just educating children, but we have a lot of power to impact families. And how can we educate children if they're hungry? And so I believe that when we have the power to be a blessing, we should do that. I want to just say that when I first got on this school board, I was actually approached by a staff member who wanted to do this type of thing. And unfortunately, she received a lot of pushback from the then administration. And she approached me because she knew that we do a food giveaway. And I had to actually have a meeting with one of the administrators back then to explain why it was important for us to do these types of things. So back then was our first mobile pantry where staff came out and volunteered and helped. So to see now how far we've grown in about 8 years or so, where we're now embracing these types of things and we're not getting pushback, it shows that as a district, we have grown even to understand that it's bigger than just educating our children. It's about helping our families. So thank you so much, and to everybody that was involved and everybody that supports it. And I hope moving forward, we really understand that it goes beyond paper and pencil for our kids and our families, and whatever we can do to help our families, we should be doing.
Thank you. Mrs. Tobin, is there any public comment? Dr. Coglanese, administrative updates.
I have the pleasure of sharing 3 donations in our list. The first one, we wanted to say thank you for Illinois Holocaust Museum, and this would be for the middle school. They allowed our 8th grade team of students for 3 field trips there. We appreciated their donation there. At the Crete Elementary School, we wanted to thank Ms. Rogers Parker for providing lunchtime volunteers for their Crete Elementary Guys and Gals reading program. And lastly, we wanted to thank our Monee students. They were able to create donation cards for Phil's Friends, and that was part of their mission of the month for caring. So we want to give a shout out for all 3 of these. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, board updates. First, I want to congratulate the 4 winners of the most recent election. So Mr. Brown, congratulations, you won re-election. And Mrs. Galbraith and Mr. Sawalish and Mrs. Walters are in the audience tonight. So I wanted to congratulate everybody. I also want to point out that on Tuesday, May 1st, there will be a special board meeting here in the auditorium. April. Why do I have May 1st?
Food pantries, May 1st.
May 1st. That's right. I'm looking at the wrong notes right here. April 30th. So April 30th, 6:30 here at, and there will be a special meeting where the board members will be sworn in, and then the reorganization meeting will take place. So everybody is welcome to attend that. We had a couple of school board members and some administrators attend the NSBA conference. Was it 2 weeks ago now? 2 weeks? So if 3 board members, Galbraith and Brown, were in attendance, I don't believe there was any other board members in attendance. Is that correct? Okay. Mr. Brown and Mrs. Galbraith, did you have anything you wanted to share with us that you brought back from the convention?
Well, I attended probably, 10, 12 sessions. I was going nonstop, and I'll be here all day talking about it. But I did talk about the first one was the community event on Friday that I attended after registering for the event or the conference. And it just was dear to my heart to be able to sit there and participate in packing boxes, and afterwards it was a nice little smorgasbord out there. So that was good. But that's not what the purpose. I got a t-shirt as well. So it was a lot of conferences or sessions that I went to that really was dear to my heart, and I would like to sit down and just kind of implement some of these things. And one thing that really kind of stuck out was kind of what we are going through, and I wanted to attend Dr. Coglanese. I'll get it right, okay? Maybe I should just call you Kara. Okay, Dr. K, okay? I couldn't attend your speak engagement because I was attending dual sessions. But one of the sessions that was dear to my heart was this one community from Cincinnati, school district from Cincinnati, was putting a referendum out there to sell bonds and build new schools and tear down similar similar nature, about $110 million. And it actually passed, the referendum passed, but it was a lessons learned, a lot of lessons learned from them because they really didn't have all their ducks in a row before they put it out for referendum. And they did a lot of promises to the constituents, the taxpayers out there, and they were unable to fulfill those promises because when the bills came in, they were way out there and they expected them to be down there. So they had to cut a lot of promises and a swimming pool, so on and so forth. And one thing that got me was when they said how much it cost, 110, they sold it, but when they put how much each taxpayer was responsible to pay on a monthly basis, I thought it was kind of odd. It was so low. And then the reason was so low because they carried out those bonds for almost 40 years. And they were capital appreciation bonds. So I'm glad we kind of don't engage in that type of borrowing. So it was lessons learned. So as we get close to our facilities, the talks, dealing with the strategies that we're dealing with right now, I'd like to have more conversations on the lessons learned that I learned from the school district. Okay. All right.
Great, thank you. Anything else?
No, I'll be here all day.
Okay, I can probably talk loud enough.
Why were
I
so many
attended
problems?
a lot of sessions. There's so much to pick from in so little time that you really have to sit and plot your time. And I took some time to go through the exhibition hall with Dr. Clark at one point, and we picked up quite a few ideas on things, even if they're not the vendors we would use. There were some good safety ideas there about different metal detectors, different things that you can use to keep your school safe. Many people were amazed at how far along we were in our training. Didn't realize that Illinois means business. So then they start picking your brains. So we had to learn how to keep moving because people wanted to ask us questions, and we brought a lot of information back. I attended a lot of good sessions. One was run by the Oak Park River Forest School District about how they came together to operate efficiently as a board. And it was run by Jeff Cohn. He is their advisor. So it was nice seeing how they got on track. They were distracted, got on track, and what they've accomplished. So we brought all the paperwork home from that. And I have a lot of paperwork that I'm giving Dr. Coglanese, and they can go through and figure out if they want to contact anybody, if they want to adopt things. There were some very good ideas there that other schools are doing. I tried to go to sessions that were run by schools, not just by speakers, because they've got firsthand knowledge. So when you're there with them, you can ask them questions and say, how did this work? Or did it not work and you had to go another path? And they're very open with you. So to me, the national conference always gives me a lot more knowledge to bring back and put to use. So it was a nice time, meeting a lot of people, making a lot of connections, and hopefully, as Mr. Brown has said, we'll be able to put some of this to use.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Did you get a chance, a lot of money, okay, but just not mine. Did you get a chance to see the Liberty Bell?
No, I was in class all day long,
Well, me neither, so I wanted.
but you know it's only this big.
So if you brought any materials back, can you get it to Terry so she can scan it in and make it available to all the school board members?
Actually, I'm going to give her my sessions and you can download
Yeah.
Yeah.
sessions, and they're there.
I think in the past, we've created an item on board book. We can do that again, please, and then we can share it amongst
They
everybody.
actually have their stuff loaded.
Dr. Clark, I believe you were there. Dr. Kara, anything to add?
I didn't get a chance to see many. I presented the one, so that took up a chunk of my day. But I did get a chance to do a lot of networking and talking with others, and particularly I was focused on the equity piece. And I am noticing that there is a lot of conversation out there nationally on equity. I attended one in particular. They had presented on access for schools, and we were right on target for looking at getting students into AP classes. So we were listening, got a chance to hear their session on how they went about getting their numbers up. So a lot of schools are out there talking about this. So I was interested in hearing that.
And your presentation
Thank you.
was marvelous.
Dr. Clark?
Of course, I focused on the crisis piece. So I looked at information regarding to whether or not our board is ready in case of a crisis, those types of things that take place before, during, and after an emergency situation that is not necessarily what people believe to be an active shooter, but it can be any crisis within your community. So I focused on those areas and brought back information. And once again, kudos because we are headed in the right direction.
Very good. Thank you, everybody, for going and for bringing your information back. I look forward to reading more about it. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Moved.
Second.
Dr. Coglanis?
All right. Number 1, regular meeting minutes of March 19, 2019. Number 2, regular meeting closed session minutes of March 19, 2019. Number 3, committee of the whole meeting minutes of April 9, 2019. And number 4 is committee of the whole closed session minutes of April 9, 2019. Business, number 1, approve accounts payable. Number 2, approve payroll. Number 3, treasurer's report. Item C is district affairs. Number 1, approve Press Plus issue 100 and Press Plus updates. Number 2, approve 520E exhibit resolution of prohibit sexual harassment. D, for curriculum, is approve overnight field trip for the NJROTC. And number 2, Crete Monee Schools Boys Track and Field State Finals Preparation Meet.
Thank you. Board members, any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Touré,
Aye.
Mrs. Rowe,
Aye.
Dr. Hall,
Present.
Mr. Brown,
Abstain.
Mr. Albrecht,
Aye.
Mrs. Galbraith is an aye, Mrs. Gasparo.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. Action reports. Superintendent.
Number 1, approve regular meeting minutes
Well,
of fit.
We're going to make a motion. Can I get a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of February 19th, 2019?
Moved. I'll second it.
I'll second.
Whatever.
12.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Albrecht,
Aye.
Mr. Brown,
Aye.
Dr. Hall,
Aye.
Mrs. Rowe,
Aye.
Mr. Touré,
Aye.
Mrs. Galbraith is an aye, Mrs. Gasparo.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. Can I get a motion for the approval of the settlement agreement and release of claims to resolve litigation with Juan Lyle?
Moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Touré,
Nay.
Mrs. Rowe,
Aye.
Dr. Hall,
Present.
Mr. Brown,
Nay.
Mr. Albrecht,
Aye.
Mrs. Galbraith is an aye, Mrs. Gasparo.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. Business. Can I get a motion? What are we doing? Are we actually voting on this? Yes. Yes. Can I get a motion to recommend the insurance brokerage and risk management consultant services?
Moved.
Second.
We've discussed this several times. I know that Mr. Surma is not with us tonight, but we discussed it last week in the committee of the whole meeting. Is there any questions? Okay. Roll call?
Mr. Albrecht,
Aye.
Mr. Brown,
Aye.
Dr. Hall,
Aye.
Mrs. Rowe,
Aye.
Mr. Touré,
Aye.
Mrs. Galbraith is an aye. Mrs. Gasparo?
Aye, thank you. Motion carries. Item C is, Laura, this is yours, but it's not listed out separately.
It is mine.
Well, I approved the agenda, so I didn't see it either, so just as much my fault. You want to discuss it before we make the motion?
Sure, I can do that. This is a request to approve the new state-required consolidated district plan. The plan consolidates Title I, Title II, Title III, which is our ELL grant, Title IV, which is part of our title grant for student programming, and two of our special ed grants, the general IDEA grant and the IDEA preschool grant. It consolidates all of that into one plan document. The plan, as we discussed at the committee of the whole last week, is very similar to our plan from last year that was required. This is a new template and a new, consolidation of plans. The plan must be board approved and state approved prior to submitting any of those grant applications for the upcoming school year, which generally those grant applications are available to submit in June. As I think Mr. Brown pointed out, there is a recommended submission date of April 1st on the plan, even though the plan wasn't released to us until the very end of February. So they're pushing for us to get this to them so that we can keep our processes moving along.
Thank you.
I do have a question real quick.
Sure. I didn't give you the highlighted copy.
Okay, yeah, I'm just
I gave you the really tiny print.
Okay, so that
You can
was
blow it up.
that
This
was
is the
intentional.
official document.
Okay. Am I missing something here? So that's good. That was intentional.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good. I saw the official application, so I just thought something was missing here when we said the consolidated district plan.
So it's the same document.
Same.
I asked ISB to print me the official. And so it's not my highlighted one that
This is
made
the
it
e-grant.
easy for you to read. Yes.
And for clarity, this is not the consolidation of schools plan.
No,
As
this is a
some thought it
curriculum plan.
was. So, and it appears like it's under business, so
Can I get a motion for the approval of the consolidated district plan?
Moved.
Second.
Any other questions? Roll call?
Mr. Albrecht?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Dr. Hall?
aye.
Mrs. Root?
Aye.
Mr. Teray?
Aye.
Mrs. Galbraith is an aye. Mrs. Gasparo?
Aye, thank you. Motion carries. Can I get a motion to approve the certified staff employment, certified staff leave of absence, certified staff return from leave of absence, certified staff resignation, educational staff return from leave of absence, educational support staff reassignment, educational support staff resignation, and educational support staff intent to retire rescinded?
Moved. Second.
Mr. Neal?
Thank you. The personnel report reads as follows. For certified staff employment, we have Julia Dornseff and Frederick Nielsen. Certified staff leave of absence, Kenneth Surma, and a follow-up for Kenneth Surma, Miriam Souffrant, and Kristen Schreffler. Certified staff return from leave of absence, Kevin Keneally and Sue Zasharsky. Certified staff resignation, Sarah Gemmerdinger. Educational support staff return from leave of absence, Thomas Matthews Jr. and Leslie Glass. Educational support staff reassignment, Vicki Medendorp. Educational support staff resignation, Yvonne Hawkins, Thomas Matthews Jr., and Diane Klutwick. And educational support staff intent to retire rescinded of Terry Tobin and Sebastian Rossi.
Thank you. Questions?
Real quick, a question regarding not so much the person, but the process. And the reason for leave of absence, you have for Ken, a family medical leave of absence under the Family Medical Leave Act. And then you have the immediate leave intermittent leave of absence under the Family Medical Leave Act. So how exactly does that work together? You got one ending 5/10 and then one beginning 5/10 with 41 days remaining. Just, I need a little clarity on that.
Certainly. The initial leave of absence is for a certain medical procedure, and when that is completed, then he will return to work. And when he returns to work, there may be a need due to the particular situation to have occasional time off due to further treatment. So that intermittent leave covers that further treatment. He may or may not take 41 days. That's just what's available to him under the law.
Okay, so theoretically, that can stretch out for the whole year. Could.
It
As long
can.
as the 41 days haven't been exhausted.
It can. It's within a calendar year.
Okay, a calendar year.
A calendar year from when the initial leave starts, when the first day of FMLA starts. So the follow-up leave still goes from the initial date of the first leave.
Okay.
Any other questions? Roll call?
Mr. Touré,
Aye.
Mrs. Ruth,
Aye.
Dr. Hall,
Nay.
Mr. Brown,
Present.
Mr. Albrecht,
Aye.
Mrs. Galbraith is an aye, Mrs. Gasparo.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. Can I get a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the honorable dismissal of certain educational support staff?
Move.
I will second it. Mr. Neal?
Thank you. This is the resolution we take on an annual basis to allow us the opportunity and the time to make efficient and financially sound decisions regarding our staffing. Most of these individuals, in fact, typically all of the individuals who want to continue to work for the district will be able to continue to do so. It's just a matter of when they get called back. So the following individuals are included under this resolution, and that is Justin Anderson, Susie Anderson, Stephanie Bowen, Micah Brown, Lola Cole, Deborah Curtis, Adriana Esquivel, Robert Gardner, Amy Gilliam, Sandra Godar, Antoinette Green, Darion Griffin, Katrina Lang, Jill Langen, Patrice Lewis, Taryn Millender, Angel Misters, Dwayne Price, Deborah Ritnicki, Silver Smith, Tracy Wagner, and Yolanda Woods.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, so you're saying that every one of these positions, and particularly the person, will be able to get their job back?
We're certainly hopeful. It's not an absolute guarantee,
Oh, so now
but
it's hopeful.
our experience has been that our recall list is exhausted prior to the beginning of the next school year. It's never a guarantee. There's always that possibility that it won't happen, but essentially what happens is we have a lot of positions that are tied to a particular student, and until we're positive that student is returning, we don't replace the, we do schedule that position to be flexible. So once we have the information on what positions are going to be available, we will call people back in order of seniority. And also, as we've had some resignations already, we will be making callbacks probably starting with our May meeting. So we will begin making callbacks almost right away.
Do we convey that to the employee?
Every employee on this list was notified. They were told that we will be most likely recalling all of our employees. That is our intent. We don't at this time anticipate that we will be losing positions, but we just have to be prepared in case it happens and take the appropriate actions. We haven't done this absolutely every year in the last couple of years, but it has been done most years since I've been in the district. And like I said, typically by usually July at the latest, everybody's gotten a call back because of resignations, or we've been able to confirm that positions will be in place.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is anybody on this list less than excellent on the rating?
I'm sorry?
Evaluation. Is anybody on the list less than excellent on the evaluation?
The evaluations are not due till May 1, so this is not subject to evaluation. This is solely based on seniority and personnel needs.
Okay, so we don't have that data yet.
We do not. Those are due May 1. And if there are any issues with that, then, that's a separate issue. This is honorable dismissal based on economic necessity.
And if it comes back where they are, does that make a decision or bearing on whether they're offered a position back, if that is a possibility?
Unfortunately, it doesn't for non-certified staff. For certified staff, it would by law.
certified.
But for non-certified staff, it is strictly by seniority in accordance with their contract.
So if they have an evaluation that's less than ideal, that's just a separate issue for non-certified? Is that
If
what
we
you're
were
saying?
going to take if, for instance, they had an evaluation that warranted their dismissal, that would be a separate act on our part, which would remove them from the recall list. But if they don't have an evaluation rating that receives that, the evaluation itself, whether it's excellent or proficient or so forth, doesn't feed into the callback list
Mhm. It's
for
just separate.
non-certified. It is
It's
a
just
separate
separate and
issue.
you would deal with that accordingly?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Albrecht?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Dr. Howe?
Present.
Mrs. Root?
Aye.
Mr. Teray?
Aye.
Mrs. Galbraith is an aye. Mrs. Gasparo?
Aye, thank you. Motion carries. Any old business? New business? Okay, we have no need to go into closed session. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.